Okay, so the next what we are going to see, guys, is about the Advance Hive stuff, right? So in Advance Hive, what all we are going to see is we are going to join. We already saw that outer join. We saw that, right? So this should be fine, joining the two tables. And aggregation and multi-table insert. Yeah, reading the data from one table. You can practice this kind of commands as well. That should not be a problem. Yeah, I want to show you like how to run the custom map reduce and local file not. Okay, UDF. Okay, so these two concepts I'm going to show you here. Okay. Okay, so let me show you the custom map and then the reducer. So let me first explain like what I'm going to show you, and then I will explain like how to do the custom map and the reducer. Okay, so suppose if you have some kind of table, right? Assume, right, the example which we take for the custom mapper table is like, suppose if you have a table that has certain column, like maybe the user ID, movie ID, ratings, and all this stuff, and it has some kind of the value like the timestamp at what point, like whenever you have a movie kind of a stuff, right? The user will go and provide the rating, and on a specific date and time they will do that. Now that particular value will generally get captured as something called the Unix timestamp. Now suppose if you want to have your code in such a way that whenever you read this particular table, instead of seeing the value in the Unix timestamp, you want to have basically more what you call like kind of instead of just time, like you want like which day user are providing the rating, like based on Friday, Saturday, right? And based on that weekday, you can do some more analysis on top of that. So that kind of stuff you want to do, like that kind of custom processing. So in that case, what will happen is you have to basically write a custom mapper function for that. And what you can do is you can integrate that custom mapper on the Hive command shell. I will show you how to do that. And once you do that, whatever the function or the custom code you have written, that will get basically will get used by the Hive to basically process your column value and display the output in that particular format. Okay. So what we have here is in this particular stuff is like we have the user ID. That's like one of the column we have. Then other one is basically the movie ID we have. Then rating. And the last column you have nothing but Unix time. We are going to do here is based on this particular column structure we have. That's basically we call it like the table which you are going to create, right? Rating table or whatever the table you create, right? So based on this table definition, right, what we will do is we'll write our own code that will basically do all these selected statements. Instead of having this data in Unix time, nowadays everybody prefers to capture the data in Unix time because it basically saves you all these transformation kind of the activity with the date format like DD, MMYY kind of thing. Instead of that, you have it as a kind of bunch of number, and then you can translate it based on your requirement. Right. So from this Unix time, if you want to get something like which day, week of the day or something, you can get that information from this Unix timestamp. And like in all the languages like with Java or the Python, there are codes available that will basically give you like which weekday this particular timestamp belongs to, and based on that particular stuff, you can use that to basically whenever you are carrying the table, you can convert that Unix timestamp to weekday, and then you can do the rest of the processing. Right. So here what I will do guys is I will use like I will show you like one of the examples, since we are discussing about the whole Hadoop MapReduce. So apart from the Java, the other language which works well here is like the Python. So we'll see some Python code here that will basically convert this whole Unix time into the weekday, and that will be output of like the week when we give the timestamp to it. Okay, so let me show you the data set here, right? What we have here. Okay, so I think this should be the data. Yeah. Okay, so here is the data guys, which we have, which we are providing as an input. So I'm going to create a table on top of that. So this is very simple data set which we have. This is called user ID. What's the user ID we have? This is the movie ID for which they are providing the rating. This is the rating which they have provided for this particular movie, and this is the Unix timestamp value which we have for at what particular time this rating was provided. Now all we want from this code is like whenever we do like select a star from this table or any other calculation, maybe group by and all, instead of grouping by based on this Unix timestamp, we want to base like group by like all the Feb data, all the the Monday data or Sunday data or what a Friday data together. Okay. So let me first create a table here, and that particular table we will load this data, and then we'll show you like how to write this, integrate this custom mapper. So let's create a table here. Create table. Let's give the name u underscore data. ID. Movie ID is again as int. Then you have rating. That's again as integer. Then you have Unix timestamp, right? Unix time. Okay. So you are creating a table called u underscore data, and you have the 4 columns: user ID, movie ID, rating, and the Unix time. So these are the 4 columns you have, and all these input data set like row, format, let's have the data as the tab. So we saw the comma separated. So I think data here is the tab separated. So it's stored. Or it's not data as text file. Leave it. Okay. So we created a table called u underscore data, and then where we give the schema of the table, and we are telling the data which we are going to provide the input as tab separated. Now if you see here, this is the data set which we have, which we are going to load in this table. Okay. So first let's go ahead and load this data here, guys. So we do load data local in path. So you do load data local in path and give the location wherever the data is. Okay, Hive demo, and then what is the file name here? U.data. One good thing, guys, with Linux is it doesn't care about what extension you give for the file, right? So that way it is very easier. So load data local in path, and then give you the location of the data, and then you can use into table and u underscore data. So this is the table where we are creating the data. So we are doing load data local in path, and then path of the data set into a table. Data is created. If we do select star from Okay, so this is the data set we have. Now, what we do is we will create or we will write a custom mapper here, because that's what the example we want to show here. So we are going to write a custom mapper, something called a weekday underscore mapper, and we'll write that stuff in Python, and we will integrate that stuff with with the Hive on the Hive shell, and then we will start using whatever the logic we have written in the custom mapper. At the point like when we run a Hive SQL, you can use that. Okay, so let me see if we have this code here. Yeah, okay. So how many of you are familiar with Python, guys? Right, so it's a simple Python code we have here. So all we are using is we are using some date time functionality here. So for each line, we are going to call this particular Python script to process the input data set we have. So we are giving the line, we are reading it like this. So it's a tab separated line. So we split the line by tab and we read all these fields like user ID, movie ID, rating, and the Unix time. So that's the way we read the data. Now what we are doing here is instead of this Unix time, we are using this is of weekday, and we are converting this Unix time to the weekday. So that's what we are doing here. Now, while outputting that record, again, you are doing the tab separated and you are joining all these records like this way: user ID, movie ID, rating, and then the weekday string, whatever the data you have, that you are again converting in string, and then you are joining it. So this is basically how to concat this tab with all the input data set which you have. Okay, so now once you are good with this one, right, what you can do is you can use this code itself to basically integrate on the Hive shell, and basically you can add it this particular file, and once you add this file, you will be able to use this whole the code which you have written. So you will pass the input tuple to it, and it will convert that into weekday, and it will output as user ID, movie ID, rating, and the weekday. So that particular stuff you can use it like whenever you are doing any kind of the processing or something. You can use that for getting the weekday data from the Unix time. So let's come back here, and here what we are doing here is we are using this is of weekday function to basically get the week from this Unix time, right? So whichever like if it is like Friday, then fifth, it's a Thursday, then fourth, like that way the which week the Unix time belongs to, and that particular stuff we are outputting here. So that's what this tab dot function dot you are using to basically join these two data sets: user ID, movie ID, rating with the tab. Right, so that's what it is going to output. So it takes input also as user ID, movie ID, rating, Unix timestamp. That's separated by tab. Once you do the processing, again you are outputting all these values. Instead of having this Unix time, you are converting that into weekday, and then you are again making this as a tab separated, and that's what the output is. Okay, so once you have this particular stuff, what you can do is you can use this to basically convert your input data. So let me create one more table where we will read the data, use this function and load it here. So you do create table u underscore data underscore new. So this is the new table which you are creating, and then you use user ID as int, then movie ID again as int, rating as int, and then now the weekday, another column we have, right? So earlier we had the weekday, and that will have again as int. Okay, then let's copy this part of stuff as it is. Okay, so this is the new table which you have created, and where instead of having this data in Unix timestamp, what we are going to do is we are going to convert that into the integer, and then we are going to store. Okay, So now to have this code, right, which we saw just now, this weekday.python, right? So we'll add that particular stuff here. So how you do that? How you make this code available to Hive is add file, okay, and then give the file name. So where this file is located. Okay, so you add this particular stuff. So it added this resource called weekday underscore mapper.python. Right, so this particular stuff is added now. So now you have the two tables, u.new and u underscore data. So what you can do is now whenever you are reading the data from u underscore data, you can pass each input line, and then you can use this Python script to convert that into, instead of Unix time, to weekday, and then you can load into this table called u data underscore new. So you do something, insert overwrite table u data underscore new, select, so you have to use the transform, and then this user ID, movie ID, rating, okay, and then Unix time. Okay, so you do you insert into this u data new, select, transform this one using this. So this, you are telling that this is a Python script, right? And now you will convert that into this one. From u underscore data. Okay, so it sees it has converted. So now let's run some query here. So if you do select star from u data underscore new, right? So instead of having this Unix timestamp, see, now it is get converted into the weekday. Just all other stuff remains as it is, right? So now if you want to do something like select weekday, and then you want to count how many people rated something on a particular week, count a star from u data underscore new, you can do that. Okay. Okay, so you can do that. Yeah, group by Mohammed, I forgot that. Yeah. You see it here, guys. So it's basically grouped here, group by, you're done, and you can see all these numbers count. It's counting how many times it has occurred, right? Is it clear? People who are not from Python, no need to worry, guys. So just in case if you are from the Python, or otherwise you can understand the concept how we are integrating it here. Next, I'm going to show you similar kind of stuff with the Java, which is basically how to write a user-defined function with the help of the Java code. So now let me do some similar example here, and then we will see one more demo here. Let me go here. This is again one more data set which you have, guys. So like here you have the data set that's again in something called the Unix timestamp value you have. So now again, instead of having using this Unix timestamp, what you want to do is you want to we want to convert uh, we can convert again this Unix timestamp into something like more like a kind of a more human readable format like date and time, and that will basically help us to get the data set. Right. So let me do one thing. I will show you the code, right, how you will do. So let me bring the Eclipse. Is it Eclipse here? No. One sec. Let it come. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to create a new function here. Okay, let me create this. Let me keep the name as Hive UDF underscore demo. So okay, let me get the code here. And, okay, so I will come here. Okay. Okay, so it's a simple user-defined function here, guys, the UDF, right, which we are using here. So we are telling it like Unix time to date. So that's what the UDF we are going to create, and we are extending basically the UDF class here. And then what we are doing here is we are using this Java function for converting this date into more human readable format, so we can have like a date and the timestamp kind of stuff. Okay. So we are seeing certain the error message here. So for that, what we have to do is we have to integrate certain jar files. Let's go ahead and do that. So we do something called build path, configure build path, libraries, add external jars, and you have to go to file system, user, name, Hive. So there's a couple of jar files. So just go ahead and add everything. It should not be creating a problem. Okay, and text. Okay, so you have to basically include configure build path. Yeah, all the basic Hadoop jar files. Okay, so you're done. Okay, so this is the way how you include all the necessary jar files here, and this is a simple few lines of the UDF code. That's basically using this date function to convert the Unix timestamp whatever you are giving as an input to this particular program, and that's converting into a more a dated format kind of stuff. You save the whole stuff, Control S, come back, export a jar file. Next, okay, so instead of, I think we have something called Hive demo or something we have created, a Hive UDF demo. And give the char name Hive underscore UDF.jar. Next, to finish. Okay, so it will create a jar file here. Why just like this? Didn't I create this jar file here? Okay, home cloud era. Yeah, that's correct. Where is the jar file? It's creating. Just a second, guys. Something. Okay, September to Hive UDF jar. Okay. I went to the wrong folder, guys. Did you guys notice what was the wrong? Okay. Right, so I went into the, yeah, I went to the Eclipse folder. Okay, that's it. Okay, so Hive UDF.jar. Okay, so this jar file has been created. So now what we will do is similar to like how we did for the Python stuff. we'll add this resource or add this jar file, and that will basically help us to use this to basically uh, transform the Unix timestamp based on the logic which you have written. So let's do pwd. This is the location. Control L. Okay. So now we'll come here. So here what we have to do is we have to first add this jar file. So you do add jar, okay, and then give this jar file name. So you take this one slash, right. So you add this jar file, add it. So this jar file is added here. Now once you have this jar file added, what you can do is instead of using the whatever the class name, you can create your own function as well. So you can do create okay, something like user date as you can give the whatever the class name you have used here. So type of is okay. So this is created. Now once this is created, what you can do is you can again write use this stuff like whenever you are reading the data. So you can do create table something like testing. Did we create the table guys earlier to have the data stored? No, right? Okay. So first what we have to do is guys is whatever this UDF data is we have to read there, right? We have to create a table here. So testing, and then you can have a Unix time. Maybe you can take this string itself. Okay. And then you have to load the data. Load data local in path. And then give the location of this file. Into table called testing. Okay, so the data is loaded now. Now if you do select the star from testing, you will see this data. Now what we'll do is we'll use our function which we have written to basically convert this into Unix timestamp. So now do select ID, then use the temporary function we have used, user date, pass the column name whatever you have, this Unix time to this, so testing. Now you see it will get converted into more human readable format than what we have here in example. You see here, so that's way you can write your own code to convert or the process any of the data set which you have in the Hive table based on the logic which you write, right? So that's the way you can you learn two things here, like how to create the UDF, how to create the jar file, how to add the jar file, and once you have that jar file added, you can use those resources to basically refine any kind of the processing which you want to do in Hive. Is it clear, guys? Are we good with this one? Okay. So now with this, guys, what we have is like let me go back to the slide. Right, so we learned about these two things, like running the custom mapper reducer. You have there some more examples of UDFs available on the slide as well, guys. So you can use that as well, and you can practice that. Like this is to basically convert into the lowercase, uppercase. So you can do that. Yep. Okay. So now in a project, guys, as I was telling you, right? So you can use basically all these tools now in combination to do the processing. So we have learned about like just processing with the Hadoop, then processing it with like Hadoop MapReduce, just like getting the data inside that. Once you have the data inside that, you process that data set, and that's basically with the help of the Hadoop file system. Then you have the pig on top of it that basically does the kind of the processing. If you want to access the data or process the data with the help of Hive, you can do that as well. So that's what we have the Hive. Once you have your data getting processed inside Hadoop, if you want to expose it to the outside world, what you can do is you can go with exporting the data into some kind of a SQL world like MySQL or any other database, whichever you guys use for reporting. You can expose your data or export the data with the help of the scoop to there, and then you can run your report on top of it, right? Right. So different phase, you can transfer data differently here. So this basically, guys, brings us towards the end of this whole Hive discussion and the Hive module and the SQL. I know there will be some more SQL kind of questions, and you want to practice that. So all is yours now, right? You can go ahead and do all these exercise first, and then if you want to practice some more Hive stuff, right? You can go ahead and do that.